Okay guys, welcome back to the Rock Room. So this week I'm continuing on with the inlay box, and I'm going to do the crystal pour on it. But first I have to, like I said last week, I had to rough up the edges, get rid of the magic marker lines on there, and then I needed to just fine tune it a little bit, and then anything that was kind of pretty rough on top, I smoothed that over. Nothing elaborate, just minor little touch-ups. So let me turn this around. Okay, so now here it is. Now, as I took one piece out, each piece, you can see they got to dry yet too. So I just went around the edges, kind of rounded off the edges where they touch each other, but left the outside edges square because they're going to be up against this wood, so it won't matter. Yeah, so all you have to do is, and then again, if now's the time, if you're worried about making these all the exact same smooth height in here, now you can kind of, although this cardboard is wet now and not really level either, but you could cut little pieces of cardboard out and level that off, because if you can see, they are definitely not the same height. There's some ones, like this big jasper there, real tall, and of course this terratella real thin, paper thin. So I could, but I'm not really worried about it. So let me get these dried off. I'll throw them back into the spot, and then we'll get busy with the crystal pour. Okay, so I got everything dried off, put back into place. And like I say, you can definitely see the height difference. Now, if you were doing this for a customer, or you were going to sell this or something, maybe you wouldn't even make it out of scrap. You'd get some pieces that were already the same height, or you'd spend more time to getting this height right. But I kind of think it adds a little bit to it if I leave it rough, so you can see that it's individual stones and not done with some kind of fake, I don't want to say what country, but some gimmick or something where they do some kind of photo of something and then just kind of throw it in there. So this way you literally know it's rock. So what we'll do now is we will get this crystal pour. I'll show you what that looks like. Hold on a second. And of course it wasn't crystal pour. I think that's just the name of, what they kind of call it. This is called glaze coat. It says great for bars, tabletops, frames, and many other projects. So basically what you're going to do, it's got two different things in here. And you're just going to mix equal parts together. And I'll show you as we go. So let me open this up. So now here's the two, side A, side B, or part A, part B, whatever you want to call it. And this is a cup I got from Menards. It's got these markings on here. And what you're going to do with this resin is you're going to go 50-50. So you're going to want half of one and half of the other. And then I'm going to dump it in this cup and make sure I get half and half. And then you have to mix it for 6 minutes. And this mixing, it's like, why would you need to mix it for 6 minutes? I don't know either. But trust me, you got to mix it for 6 full minutes, and just keep mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing. I guess so it's all completely mixed. Otherwise, it's not going to harden right. So mix this stuff up for 6 minutes, and then we'll pour it on top. I won't need much. And then as it dries or hardens, it's going to start to form bubbles. So you take a hair dryer, just a little home hair dryer, and then when it starts to bubble up, you don't have to continuously keep it on the hair dryer. Just wait for a little bit till a bunch of bubbles form, and then go over it. And I'll show you as I go. And then you kind of hit it with the hair dryer, and the bubbles will pop and dissipate. So then you just keep doing that until it finally sets up, and then it won't bubble anymore. So I'm going to dump the two pieces in there, and I'm going to mix it for 6 minutes, and then I'm going to pour it in there, and then I'll show you once I pour it in there. Okay, so I mixed it up, poured it on in. Boy, doesn't that look amazing? No, it doesn't. It's pretty scary, right? Like, why is it white? Well, the white is not white. It's mainly just air bubbles in there because you mixing it for the 6 minutes in these two chemicals as they react, it just gets more and more and more and more and more and more air bubbles. And that's why we got the, I'm trying to see here, we got the hair dryer. And what the hair dryer is going to do is it's going to just keep popping these bubbles. And it's going to, whoa. And it's going to keep popping these bubbles. And then as these bubbles keep popping, it's going to keep clear and clear and clear and clear. So I'm going to, I don't know if you can hear me. So I'm going to keep blow drying this and blow drying it and popping these bubbles. And then I will cut back to once you can start to see something. Okay, you can see a couple mistakes I probably made. I put way too much stuff in. I mixed it way too vigorously, and I caused myself way too many problems. So the hair dryer didn't do squat, so I had to break out the torch. The torch is definitely, because this was like milky, still milky white even after a while with the thing. So I needed the torch. So I got the torch out. I'm going to keep torching this. I got to put the phone down. Or maybe I can do this while I have the phone on. So so I had to hold on a second here. So yes, I had to get the torch here because the hair dryer just was not getting the bubbles out. So I need to torch this to get these bubbles out of here before the resin sets up, because if you wait too long, then you'll never get these bubbles out of here. So I need to keep torching on this, and hopefully I didn't wait too long so I can get these bubbles out of here. So let me keep doing this, and I'll get back to you. So yeah, so here we go. I would definitely skip the hair dryer. It seems to be like too much wind, because I poured this a little bit thicker than I was supposed to, because I had mixed up that much, and I was just gonna use it all. I shouldn't have used it all. I should have just left it, but I didn't. So whatever. So the hair dryer was too much. It was blowing, creating waves in there, and it wasn't getting the bubbles out of there. So like I say, I hit it with the torch, and this is you don't need this kind of a fuel. That's just the fuel that was on the torch. So yes, the torch was the key to getting these bubbles out fast, which I needed to do. Now you can see right there and there and there, and a couple of these little bubbles forming. And they'll keep forming. They'll keep popping up and keep popping up and keep popping up. So you just wait, wait a few minutes. You can even see them kind of popping. Maybe you can't with this right angle. But you'll see these bubbles coming up. Let them form for a little bit. I'll just lightly go over it with the torch. Pop all the bubbles. Let it sit. Wait for more bubbles to form. Lightly go over it with the torch. And I'm holding the torch quite a ways away, and then you can just see another big one just formed right there. So that could be like what's going underneath the stones or something too. So we'll just keep on torching this every few minutes as these bubbles kind of pop up. Now here's a bar top I had done a long time ago, and again it's the same thing. I just used pennies, and I actually glued them down to keep them still, which now that I did it, I probably didn't have to. And then again, I used this crystal pour, and I poured over the top, and then the same thing. I used a torch and just kept torching down the bubbles, and that's kind of what it looks like. You can't even, and this is a bar top. It's, of course, I got the other bar upside down on top of it, but it's a full-length bar, just made out of pennies. Okay, so there we go. I say thank God for the torch. I was able to salvage it and get them bubbles out of there. So if you're going to use this stuff, don't be like me. Let me turn this around. Hold on a second. Let me turn this around. So yes, if you're going to do this, don't be like me and use like a blender to mix that stuff up. I got a little carried away. And just because it was such a small amount, you know, it's really easy to mix. So I went crazy and I was like starting to whip it like I was making like egg whites or something. Yes, so definitely overmixed. Too many freaking bubbles in there. And then I just created a problem. And then the other problem was putting way too much in there. So then when I tried to dry it, it just kept blowing over the edge. So again, live and learn. I'll make the mistakes, so hopefully when if you're going to try something like this, you won't make the mistakes. So it came out all right anyhow, you know. Like I say, I wasn't doing this for a sale. It was just some scrap junk I had laying around. So make a little box with a keepsake. Maybe I'll throw a couple, you know, stones or something in there or some change or something, whatever, don't matter. So I had fun doing this project. I hope you enjoyed watching me do it. So let's take one more look at it. And yeah, spin it around so the writing's the right way up. And you can see the, if I get it close, or maybe right there you go, there's a good angle. So you can see it's still got a lot of air bubbles in there. If I could zoom in on the black. Oh, there you go. There it focused on all them little. So yeah, so it's got way, I mean, it doesn't look bad. Overall, you get some good, ooh, that piece of moonstone looks really nice in there, huh? Wow, I didn't see that. Yeah, see that little piece of moonstone? That's Wisconsin moonstone there. I think they got a couple pieces of moonstone, and then this labradorite looks real nice too. I think I got another little piece of moonstone right there. So yeah, so it doesn't look too bad. But again, learn from my mistakes. You know, don't do what I did, so you end up with these problems. And if I would have used the hair dryer, I wouldn't have got this top. So basically, by using the torch, I almost kind of cooked the top, or seared it, as they say. Got that little film crusty thing on there. So, you know, don't do that. Overall, we'll let it dry. If it changes any when it's still, you know, wet. If I would tip it, it's still moving. So, I'll let it completely dry. If it does look better, like when it completely dries, like a smooth top like my bar is, I'll show you some more pictures of it. Otherwise, we'll leave it at that. Project done. Yeah, so you know, it is what it is. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for everybody subscribing and liking and commenting. It really helps the channel out. Everybody have a good one. See you next week.